Other retail shops at 6310 College Avenue. Planner Peterson Vollman is here to represent. I'd just like to say, just for clarification, this is a scoping session. You'll hear this again probably from Mr. Vollman. You'll hear it from the Commission. This is an opportunity to be heard on issues and analysis that should be undertaken in regard to the environmental impact report. It's not a discussion about the project merits. It's not going to be, there's going to be no vote tonight by the Commission. It's simply a gathering of comments and discussion about what should be included in the EIR. The scoping, the notice of preparation period for submitting additional comments beyond this public hearing is another 13 days away on December 1st. So if anyone in the audience or at home does not hear comments that they would like to be addressed in the EIR, or at least to be evaluated in preparation of the EIR, there's another 13 days, 4 p.m. on December 1st. So I wanted to make that clear. I've heard comments about how this is different than the other two items, and indeed it is different than the other two items. Again, there's no decision being made here tonight. The reason that there was an attempt to organize the speakers tonight was simply because of the volume of speakers. And that kind of organizational attempt is done whenever there's this many speakers. We had a total of over 65 speaker cards, and so the attempt was to try to organize the thoughts of those both for and against the project. And so don't believe there was anything sinister about trying to limit time or to eliminate speakers. Certainly everyone who wants to speak has the opportunity to speak. And again, in addition to this opportunity to speak directly tonight, there is the additional 13 days in which to submit comments. So I wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Mr. Vollman.
Good evening, Commissioners. Pete Vollman, Planning Department staff. Won't go over everything that Mr. Miller had just spoken to everybody about the notice of preparation period, and the purpose of the meeting tonight is a scoping session. I'll give a brief description of the project and the findings of the initial study. The project description is basically to demolish the existing Safeway and 76 gas station that presently reside on the site. The proposal would call for an approximately 64,000 plus square foot building that would replace it. That would include a 50,000 square foot plus new Safeway, which would be located on the second floor. On the ground floor facing College Avenue, there would be 11,000 plus of retail and approximately 8 commercial storefronts with below grade parking located behind, partially above grade on the Claremont Avenue facade on the back side of the building. Staff had decided that an EIR was required. The notice of preparation for this went out on October 30th, and as Mr. Miller mentioned, it runs through December 1st, so comments can still be received after tonight. A number of comments have been submitted, if you can believe that. Largely an email, and those have been passed out to the Commission as well as made available to the public this evening. Many of the comments that were received were either in support of the project or in opposition to the project. Going into the focus of the meeting tonight in terms of what was to be studied, the initial study found that noise, transportation traffic, and air quality would be studied in the EIR. And I did want to make one clarification on an error in one of the notices that went out, was that air quality was listed as an item to be included in the EIR as well as scoped out. That was an error. It is proposed to be included in the study in the EIR. The majority of comments that focus on the EIR and items to be studied in addition to those were aesthetics and land use. There was other areas brought up. However, the initial study stated that they would be less than significant or be addressed by standard conditions approval to be less than significant. Two main issues that came up, and again, were aesthetics and land use. While valid issues, staff believes that these are not issues of environmental review. However, they are issues with the design review application that will take place later in a separate process, as well as the use permit for land use in regard to the size of the project. I'll go ahead and wrap up. The applicant's here. The architect has, the applicant's here to speak for a minute or so, and then the architect is here to give a presentation, to give a better description of the project with the visuals. And then consultants are also here. Stu During from During Associates, who prepared the initial study, will be doing the draft EIRs here. And Sam Tabibnia from Fair Peers, who will be doing the traffic analysis, is also here if any questions are needed.
Thank you, Mr. Vollman. Are there any questions for Mr. Vollman at this time? Thank you. Would the applicant come forward?
Good evening, Chair Huntsman and Commissioners. My name is Rena Rickles, and I represent Safeway on College. And after 3 years, really glad to be here. It's been 3 years of long negotiations and significant redesign. And we fully understand that tonight is just the beginning, not the end of the public dialogue. Todd Paradis, who's the real estate manager of Safeway, will be speaking to you very briefly. He's been working on this even longer than the 3 years. He's spearheaded over 15 community meetings. He's designed and redesigned this to make a very beautiful design before you tonight. He showed amazing flexibility and creativity. But that's really shown by his choice of the architect, Ken Lowney. Many of you probably know of Ken Lowney for his work on the Whole Foods Market on 27th. Ken Lowney is also a 2009 East Bay AIA Design Award winner. And he lives on 61st Street. He lives in the neighborhood. He loves this neighborhood, and he loves the C31, about to become CN1. And I think this project is ready to move forward to the next stage. And the analysis, I gave you 4 handouts just so we can save some time. One is, did you get them the chronology of the 15 community meetings, when they were, how many people attended? Second, the changes that Safeway made to respond to the needs of the community. And of course, the one that there is a disagreement on is the size of the store. But I think you'll see from the design, the size of the store is very beautifully and artfully camouflaged into the design. Finally, that's what the EIR is for. Actually, that'll be something that can be discussed at the use permit stage. We did provide the resulting public benefit package that came as a result of the community negotiation. And finally, since this is an EIR session, a scoping session, we have provided a table showing the green aspects of the design. All right?